Each of the B'nai Mitzvah students received gifts from the congregation during the Musaf Amidah. As a congregation, we are so proud that you have taken up this tradition and that you have decided to learn and take the next step as Jews, as human beings. We are proud that you pursued this program. And you should know how special this class is, in particular to be the last class that started with Yossi and ended here on the Bima just like Yossi would have wanted. In every other community around the country, adult B'nai Mitzvahs, adult conversions are usually celebrated around Shavuot time in terms of Zman Matan Toratenu, the reception of Torah and responsibility, the yoke of our tradition. And here we carve out this very special place on the Shabbat of Pesach in order to hold this ceremony each and every year. And I have to admit that I think that VBS is right. Why? Why is it important to hold this ceremony on this Shabbat, on the day, traditionally speaking, that we chant the book Shir HaShirim, the Song of Songs? Well, I'll tell you why. One of my most favorite conversations that I have, we laugh about together, on the second floor, whether it be in front of a podcast audience, Rabbi Feinstein and I joke about how I believe the most disingenuous song that we sing all through the year. We sing it happily. We sing it happily at our Pesach Seder. Least reflective of our people is the song Dayenu. It would have been enough. If you just look at the words at face value, if you had just taken us out of Egypt and led us into the wilderness, that would have been enough. First of all, that would have been horrible. Not only would it have been horrible for us to be left in the desert, it would have been horrible as an end to the story. That is a terrible end to a story, that we were redeemed out of slavery and deposited in the wilderness to fend for ourselves. If we had just gone to Mount Sinai but not received the 10 Commandments, that would have been enough. Nonsense. If we had gotten to a mountain and not received the 10 Commandments, that would have been a good end to our story? That would have been horrible. If we had walked in circles for 40 years but never made it to the land of Israel, that would have been enough. Not only would it not have been enough, it's not enough for the Jewish people today. We are not a Dayenu people. If only we had had services, but we didn't have Kiddush, that would have been enough. Said nobody ever. If only we had come to Kiddush, but there wasn't the Kiddush that we liked. There wasn't tuna fish, or there wasn't this or that. I would have been happy. Says the person who complains to me when I step into the Kiddush hall 1 minute into Kiddush, right? We are not a people that is the Dayenu people. We've never been the Dayenu people. And that's why the Jewish people has accomplished what we've accomplished as the tiny minority of world population each and every generation, is because we don't believe that it's enough. We don't believe it's enough. And so what is the counter text to Dayenu, to the song that we sing with our children that nobody believes around the table? What is the song? What is the song that counters that song? Well, we call it the Song of Songs. We say that we once had this very intimate relationship with God, that the rabbis use as an allegory between God and the Jewish people. There was once a couple that had such closeness, and that we yearn for that closeness. We aspire to have that experience again. When you read Song of Songs, you know, on a human level, it not only describes the human experience, it describes the Jewish people. For we never say at the chuppah, may you enjoy an intimate, close relationship once, and that be enough. We never say at graduation ceremonies, Mazel tov on this accomplishment. You've read a bunch of books. May you never read again. That was enough. And we turn here to this adult B'nai Mitzvah class, and we say, thank you for not being Dayenu people. Thank you for aspiring to a higher standard, for saying that even though the whole world sees me already as an adult, even though I am a Jew and standing in this community, I would like to pursue a path to a greater level of education. I would like to pursue a path to stand at the Torah and read, to chant Haftorahs, to be part of the service in a different way. I'd like to have a different kind of experience, one that either I wasn't able to have or wasn't available to me as a child. I would like to stand before you as a B'nai Mitzvah. Each and every adult that chooses this program in this community rejects a Dayenu experience of Judaism that says that I once had a bar bat mitzvah, or children should have bar bat mitzvahs and read books and learn. But for adults, we've already done enough. To that, Song of Songs and Passover and the wisdom of this institution, Valley Beth Shalom, says nonsense. Learning and Torah is actually the purview and the endeavor of adulthood. If you want to appreciate the Jewish tradition and you want to appreciate the wisdom of Song of Songs, it has to be delivered to adults. And unfortunately, we can't capture you as easily as we do children and put you in rooms with desks on Tuesday afternoons and Sunday mornings, or whether it be all during the day for the day school. We can't do it. You have to volunteer. You have to say, I want to pursue that. I want to aspire. I want to live up to a different kind of promise. And it has to begin inside of each one of us, and it usually happens because we see a friend or a neighbor or a loved one make that inspiring choice. Make that inspiring choice. When the choice is made, it's freeing. And in that way, it speaks to the holiday in so many ways. Because the story of Passover is not only about a God who hears the cries of his people and redeems them. It's about a people who decides that their self-worth is greater than slavery. Who decides that the most powerful person in the world has no authority to define our reality. Who decides that the future for our children will be greater than our parents. And in doing so, we not only taught ourselves an eternal lesson, we taught the world an eternal lesson about aspirations and hopes and dreams, and about freedom and liberty. And the Adult B'nai Mitzvah class restores that promise each and every year by saying that it's not enough, by saying that we ourselves will inspire the ones around us. We ourselves will make that choice. We ourselves will stand as a dugma, as an example, here on this bima, once a year, to teach the community that we have never been a Dayenu people, and we will never, thank God, be a Dayenu people. We will pursue education and practice at every level, because there is always a promise for us of a brighter tomorrow. If you are here in support of one of these Adult B'nai Mitzvah, I'd like for you to please rise at this time. If you are here because you're a member of the community, I'd like for you to please rise at this time. If you're a member of the adult choir, I'd like for you to please rise but not stand in the center of the room at this time. And if you're here just because you heard we have great kiddushes, but unfortunately you chose to come here on Pesach, we have great Rachmanis on you, but you can please stand at this time. And I'd like for you to please join us and join our adult B'nai Mitzvah in thanking God that we have all reached this momentous occasion together by offering the blessing of Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu vekimanu vehigianu lazman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai